The United States has announced a new round of sanctions targeting companies, ships, and individuals accused of helping Iran sell oil and petrochemicals, including a Chinese refinery and 2 terminals. It's the 4th round of sanctions under the Trump administration aimed at disrupting Iran's energy trade. On Thursday, the U.S. Treasury Department said it had sanctioned about 100 individuals, entities, and vessels that helped facilitate Iran's oil and petrochemicals trade. Among them is the Shandong Jincheng Petrochemical Group, described as an independent teapot refinery in Shandong province, which the Treasury says has purchased millions of barrels of Iranian oil since 2023. Also named in the sanctions, the Rizhao Shihua crude oil terminal, which operates at Liangshan port in China. According to Treasury, the terminal accepted more than a dozen of Iran's so-called shadow fleet vessels that evade sanctions. Those tankers, including Congum, Big Mag, and Voy, carried several million barrels of Iranian oil to Rizhao, the statement said. The Treasury also announced sanctions against Jiangyin Foreversun Chemical Logistics, calling it the first China-based terminal designated for receiving Iranian-origin petrochemical products. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said the department was degrading Iran's cash flow by dismantling key elements of Iran's energy export machine. This marks the 4th round of sanctions in which the administration has targeted China-based refineries that continue to buy Iranian oil. At a cabinet meeting in the White House after the announcement, President Donald Trump said, Iran had told the administration it supports the Israel-Hamas ceasefire and hostage deal reached this week. Trump said the U.S. would work with Tehran and added, "We'd like to see them be able to rebuild their country too, but they can't have a nuclear weapon." He also said he would be leaving for the Middle East soon. Despite sanctions, Iran continues to export large volumes of oil. According to United Against a Nuclear Iran, a group that tracks the country's petroleum shipments, Iran's September exports hit a year high of about 63.2 million barrels, valued at about $4.26 billion. The group said that growth likely reflected stockpiling ahead of the possible resumption of UN sanctions on Iran. The United States says Iran's oil networks help fund Tehran's nuclear and missile programs and support militant proxies throughout the Middle East. Iran maintains its nuclear program is for peaceful purposes. China has strongly opposed the new measures. In a statement, Chinese embassy spokesperson Liu Pengyu in Washington said, he added that China will take all necessary measures to safeguard the legitimate rights and interests of Chinese companies. Iran's mission to the United Nations in New York did not immediately respond to requests for comment. With Beijing vowing to resist U.S. pressure and Iran's oil exports still rising, the impact of these latest sanctions remains uncertain.